Like we hit a record yesterday, we hit 93 degrees. There are about 4 areas across northern Utah that had new records, and this shot is one that's usually just a little bit too dark to show in the morning hours, but the clouds look so pretty this morning that we couldn't resist. This is from Salt Lake's East Bench. This is Right View Gardens and our camera here, and looking off to the skyline, and it does look very pretty with just some clouds out there. Clouds make for a really pretty start to the day, and sure enough, that's what we have right now. 64 degrees now out at the Salt Lake Airport. St. George has been right around 70 degrees. The station on this map is not reporting, but Coral Cliffs Elementary School is, and it's nice and mild in St. George, and it will be just hot later today. So on the satellite, we have a weak front moving through. It drops our temperatures just slightly. It gives us some clouds, a slight chance of some showers. We expect to be 86 degrees for Salt Lake today, so still 15 degrees above average. 81 for Logan, Provo 88, and St. George 99.
All right, Debbie, thank you very much. And let's cruise on down the highway right now, see what's happening. Here's a kind of a close-up view of I-15, 7th South in Salt Lake City. No problems reported to us, so you are good to go so far.
Yeah, the roadway clear. Here's 140th South. The northbound traffic just a little bit heavier there. 801-415-2222 is the number to keep handy. Give us a call if you see trouble. New this morning, one person is dead after a single car crash on I-215 late last night.
It happened just before midnight. Police say a teenager driving a Ford Mustang was headed westbound on I-215 near 1400 West when the driver lost control and drove off the north shoulder, hit a wall, then rolled. The 17-year-old female driver was thrown from the car and landed on the freeway. The girl died at the scene. There were no other passengers in the car, and officials are still investigating what caused the crash and say it doesn't appear to be any sign of alcohol involved, and police are still trying to notify the girl's family. The Salt Lake Community College softball team hoped to come back from a recent tournament with the title winner, but they've come back with an even greater title, hero.
The ladies competed in Twin Falls, Idaho, and during some downtime, just killing a little time, they actually saved a man's life. Roxanne Vinuka joins us now from the ladies' home campus with more on this amazing story. Roxanne?
Yeah, you know, these ladies had worked very, very hard. They thought they'd take just a little break, do some swimming. They ended up saving a man who was drowning. So now everyone is not only applauding their winning ways on the field, but their heroics in the water.
There was a little kid, and he was saying help, help, but he couldn't help. He was too little.
Scary, scary scene. This had been a big weekend for the Bruins. The softball team had dominated during a tournament in Twin Falls, so the ladies took a much-needed break to Dirks Lake. But as they packed up to head out, they heard a commotion, a young man screaming for help, and then he went under the water. The women ran to the dock, and Megan Bradshaw, third base player and a trained lifeguard, went to work. Bradshaw pulled the young man to the dock, and the husband of one of the other players dragged him to safety.
I really believe that if we weren't there, he would have died.
And I'm glad we were there at that time so that he could be saved.
So the young man who went under the water is apparently okay thanks to the help from these folks. And this was a big win-win weekend because they won at that tournament in Twin Falls. And now these ladies are headed to St. George to compete in the national championships. Back to you.
Well, good luck to them.
Great team.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot,
Great
Roxanne.
story.
Well, a man was flown to the hospital after a car rolled over him in South Jordan. The accident happened near 114th South and 2100 West yesterday afternoon. Officials say the 23-year-old man was working on his car when it rolled over his abdomen and lower body. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Well, the FBI is looking for a man who they say robbed a half-dozen banks, and now they're offering a reward for his capture. Officials are offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction of the duffel bag bandit. This guy is accused of robbing 6 banks, including 2 in southern Utah, 4 in western Idaho. Anyone with information about this suspect is asked to call police.
In national news, outrage is spreading over the IRS scandal. The tax agency admits using extra scrutiny to politically conservative groups applying for tax-exempt status during the last election cycle. President Obama addressed the issue for the first time.
I've got no patience with it. I will not tolerate it, and we will make sure that we find out exactly what happened.
And President Obama says he first heard of the scandal from news reports last Friday. Acting IRS Commissioner Stephen Miller is expected to face some very tough questions when he testifies before Congress on Friday. Up for auction, a chance for you to fly like the Vice President of the United States. This plane that once acted as Air Force One is right now sitting at the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport in Arizona. Hopefully we'll get a look at it there. A bidding will start at $50,000. This aircraft that once carried Nelson Rockefeller, George H.W. Bush, and Al Gore is now up for sale.
A well-known psychologist and TV personality, Dr. Joyce Brothers, has died. She rose to prominence after winning the TV game show The $64,000 Question. She went on to become a familiar guest on TV talk shows, explaining medical and psychological issues in simple, common terms. She also wrote a syndicated newspaper column. Dr. Brothers died peacefully in her home in New Jersey with her family by her side. Dr. Brothers was 85 years old. Well, actress and director Angelina Jolie has revealed in a New York Times op-ed article that she has undergone a preventive double mastectomy. She wrote that through genetic testing, she discovered she has a gene that sharply increases her risk of developing breast cancer. In fact, doctors estimated she had an 87% risk of developing it, so Jolie decided to be proactive and undergo the double mastectomy as a preventive measure. She finished 3 months of medical procedures on April 27th. She says her chances now are down to 5%. Well, for $300, a Utah company can recover those photos you thought had vanished, and you'll never believe what the UN says could feed millions and help the environment.
Yeah, Bloomberg's Jane King is at the New York Stock Exchange with that and a look at trading today. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Ron and Mary. Good morning. And restaurant food may have even more fat and sodium than you think. Scientists at the University of Toronto say the average meal at a chain restaurant has more than half the calories, 1.5 times the sodium, and almost all of the fat that it's recommended people consume for the entire day. Now, the report looked at 26 chains, but doesn't mention any by name. Well, meantime, how about eating insects to stay healthy? Food experts at the UN do say grasshoppers, ants, and other edible insects are low in fat and high in protein and could feed millions of people and reduce greenhouse gas pollution. Okay, we've got stocks this morning a little bit lower here today, or let's just call it flat for the start of things. Yesterday, pretty listless trade. The Dow was down, the NASDAQ higher. That was after the owner of Pizza Hut and KFC reported a sales slump in China. There's the Bloomberg Utah Index a slight bit higher on the day. Okay, for the millions of people who use Snapchat to send sexy messages and photos, this news should make them very nervous. Researchers at Orem-based Decipher Forensics has figured out how to retrieve the supposedly self-destructing photos from the popular app Snapchat. They'll do it for a fee, $300. Snapchat, which allows users to send photos that vanish in seconds, is particularly popular with high school and college students. Now, finally, if you're looking to take a short, fun vacation this summer, maybe a few of them, Frontier has a deal, and it's Hop Across America promotion. You can fly from Salt Lake City to Denver for $59 one way. There are other cities as well, and there are some blackout dates, so you can check out flyfrontier.com for more information. Live at the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King, Bloomberg News reporting for 2 News. Ron and Mary, back to you.
All right. Well, Jane, this morning, Casey is a Utah conservation officer. He's been doing 20 jobs in 20 days, and this is one of them. And our Facebook question is, what is your best catch other than your husband?
Well, I'm not a big fishing person. I actually tried once. We had a houseboat on a lake in Kentucky, and I just got bored. I just had to do something else. So I don't think I've ever in my life actually caught a fish. I should try it again. Maybe I could do a little bonding with my kids out fishing. Yeah, it's just too much downtime for me.
Yeah, you need a little more action.
Well, I'm sure there's some great places to go fishing right in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe the puddles after a big rain.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, Jane, have a great day.
Thanks.
We will see you.
Okay.
Well, still to come on 2 News this morning, as we said, Casey's patrolling for wildlife crime.
That's right. Behind me, we have 400,000 sleepy fishies, and we're going to wake them up. Fishy, fishy.
It is a beautiful morning out there. It's going to be hot again today. We'll tell you how hot and how much we're down from yesterday next.
Hey, welcome back. We're glad you could be with us on this Tuesday morning. You know, the recent summer-like temperatures across the valley have had a lot of people headed up the mountains to enjoy a little bit cooler temperatures.
Well, there is a word of warning, though, for those going up into the canyons. Beware of fast rising waters. The 90-degree temperatures we had yesterday melted the snow at a high rate of speed. That means the rivers will be running at peak levels by the end of the week.
We're melting at 1.5 to 2 inches per day, which is pretty significant.
Well, the experts say flooding is not a concern this year because right now the snowpack is only at 44% of normal. So good news for not flooding, but bad news for snowpack.
Right.
We need the water.
Yeah, that's right.
Just don't want it to melt too fast.
Well, we're not going to be hitting records today, but we are going to be way above average again. And we have some beautiful shots, so I want to show you a few different sites on our weather stations across the state because it looks gorgeous right now. First of all, Helper Junior High School. And this is one of our newer cameras. It's HD, it's live, it looks beautiful this morning, and temperatures are really warm. It's 69 degrees in Wendover right now, 64 in Centerville, Ivan 68, Laverkin 70, St. George is around 70, Fillmore is at 67, and Ogden 66 degrees right now. Zion Canyon, it looks clear, it looks beautiful, and we are going to be very hot today in southern Utah. In fact, we have a weak front that's moving through the northern part of the state, which will drop temperatures a little bit, but for southern Utah, it's going to stay toasty today. 51 for Rock Springs right now. It's 52 in Vernal. I've heard from Dirk in Western Park in the Vernal area. He said, just a beautiful sunrise this morning. We've been looking at that on our weather site. And then in Afton, Wyoming, 78 degrees yesterday, and we're starting out really mild this morning. Satellite, this is the last 12 hours. There's our front. Our front is so weak at this point. It looks like it literally drops us about 5 to 10 degrees, and that's it. That's saying something when we hit records yesterday. We hit 93 yesterday. Normal high is low 70s, and we still expect to be high 80s today, even after this front moves through. So it does push some of the really hot air out, but we stay very warm, and that's going to be the case for the next couple of days. And for the mountain areas, same scenario. We do look like we could get some thunderstorms today. They'll be isolated if we see them. High for for the mountain areas, 63 degrees, and tonight 40. And for the valleys, well, we stay way above average. Mesquite, 103 for this afternoon, 92 for Page. Rock Springs is even 81 later this afternoon. Vernal, 86, Heber City, 85. Mostly sunny for east central Utah, and it'll just be sunny and hot for the southern part of the state. In fact, 97 for Bullfrog, which is right about where we were yesterday. 99 for St. George and 95 for Zion. Now, a record for yesterday in St. George would have been 105. We didn't hit that, but I mean, once we're pushing 100 degrees, it's really hot. 84 for Nephi this afternoon. Partly cloudy for northern Utah, and for the mountain areas, we could get those isolated showers. If we see those, they will just roll through and then be out of the way. 81 for Logan today, 83 for Morgan, and Lake Town 75 degrees this afternoon. For St. George, two-day forecast, 99 degrees for today. Tomorrow, we're down a little bit. It's still sunny. It's 93. Now, we start to hit the 80s on Friday and Saturday. We stay in the high 80s through Sunday. We have a chance of getting some isolated rain Friday and Saturday in St. George. Monday, we're back to 91. But that will probably feel quite a bit better than where we've been the last couple of days. And our overnight lows will be dropping to the mid-50s. For Salt Lake, chance of some showers today, same for tomorrow, but we will get more sun than cloud cover today. 86 is our high, tomorrow 85, so that's down, 8-9 degrees from yesterday. Thursday at 82. Friday we have some rain and thunder showers expected, 75 is our high. And then we have a beautiful weekend. We have some early rain on Saturday, 72 degrees is our forecast high. Sunday partly cloudy with a chance of some showers, 70 for our high. And Monday we're partly cloudy and 68. So it's going to be a lot more pleasant over the next few days. It's still really hot today, and tomorrow it's going to feel pretty toasty too.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, we got to say good morning once again to Casey. He's hanging out with the fishies.
That's right. Lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows.
Or something
So
like
I'm
that.
hanging out with Shane. He's a DWR employee, and that's what I'm doing today is finding out what the Division of Wildlife Resources is all about. And right now we're at the Springville Fish Hatchery, and in front of us we have about 500,000 sleepy fishy, right?
Correct.
And so they're rainbow trout. And tell me, what's the purpose of this fish hatchery?
You know, the purpose of this fish hatchery is to help supplement the fishing needs for most of the community ponds across the state.
How many community ponds do we have in all, do you know?
There's 49. I think they're working on 51, 52 right now.
And they're just in the communities, and you stock them once a month, once a year?
Sometimes twice a week, depending on fishing events that are taking place, different classes that could be taking place. We'll hit them twice a week, some of them.
Now, is it always with rainbow trout?
During the spring and fall, when the water temperatures is cool, we'll stock them with rainbow trout. In the summer months, we stock them with channel catfish.
All right, and we've got a couple big events coming up throughout the summer we want to tell you about, like Free Fishing Day, an event that's happening in Springville a little later on today. But right now what we want to do is just turn on the lights. Now, you say when we turn on the lights, all these fish are going to kind of snap to attention.
Yes, sir.
All right, and so we got Gary back there working on the lights real quick. You see him back there. Wave, Gary. All right, so Gary Winterton from Hooked on Utah. There we go. Look at the fish. Hit it. Oh, wow. So, Tom, can you see how deep is that?
It's about 26 inches.
And how do you raise these fish, and where do you get them from?
We get these fish at an eyed stage, the eggs, from a couple hatcheries in Montana. We'll go and pick them up in igloo coolers, the water coolers, and we'll drive them down, and then we'll raise them from the eyed egg stage to a 10-inch catchable for the community ponds.
And how long will they live here until they go into the stream?
It depends on when the biologist wants them. Some of these fish will only be here for about 8 months. Some of them will be here for 18, 19 months before we stock them out.
All right, now, being a DWR employee, you've probably heard every fish joke out there.
I'm always surprised.
Did you hear how big the fish was that the one-armed... I messed it up! Man!
Start over.
I'll send it back to you guys. I'll work on some more fish jokes. We'll see in a bit.
Okay, you can. You can perfect it and try it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would.
We'll work on it, Casey.
Casey rarely blows a joke.
That's true.
Well, there was that one time.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Still to come on 2 News this morning, a singing Irish duo. Their voices are trending this morning. We're going to tell you which show they recently performed on and let you take a listen to their song. Welcome back. The time is 6:23, and here's a look at what's trending this morning. The Salt Lake Tribune has analyzed former Attorney General Mark Shurtleff's campaign donations. They found that from 2008 to 2012, 40% of his campaign money came from companies who were accused of ripping off consumers. Now, at the time, Shurtleff said he took the money but was still an honest prosecutor. Shurtleff's biggest contributor was Jeremy Johnson, who gave $219,000 to Shurtleff and now faces federal fraud charges. To see the entire story, just go to our website, KUTV.com. You can find it right there on the homepage. All right, also trending this morning, clothing retailer Abercrombie & Fitch is trending, but not in a good way. Outraged teens protested outside the clothing company's Michigan Avenue store in Chicago. The teens say they're protesting the company's stance on clothing size. They believe the company is sending a dangerous message to kids by not making bigger sizes. Now, back in 2006, the company's CEO made comments about the so-called cool kids wearing their clothes. Those comments are now getting new life on the internet. And so far, Abercrombie & Fitch has not commented. All right, also trending, a performance by an Irish singing duo is now going viral.
'Cause the truth may vary, this ship will carry our bodies safe and sure. Don't listen to a word I say. The screams.
Okay, this is Jack and Cormac. The two teens appeared on Britain's Got Talent singing of Monsters and Men's hit single Little Talks. This video was posted just a few days ago, and as you can see, already has more than 260,000 views, and certainly for good reason, Ron and Mary. I could listen to these guys all day. Some nice pipes there.
Talented, yeah.
All right, thanks.
Well, coming up on 2 News this morning, a softball team being hailed as heroes.
They're winners on the field and heroes in the water. We'll tell you how the Salt Lake Community College softball team saved a person's life.
And it is just a beautiful start to the morning. You can see Roxanne doesn't have a jacket on this morning, and this is a shot that I believe she just shared on her Twitter page. And it is beautiful as the sun's rising. We'll let you know what we expect later today, if we'll hit records again, next.
And I'm hanging out with the Department of Wildlife Resources. Coming up, we feed the fishy.
You're watching Utah's #1 news channel. This is 2 News This Morning.
The federal government files paper in court that heats up the battle of who's got control and enforces laws on Utah's federal land.
Well, good morning and welcome to 2 News This Morning on a beautiful Tuesday. We'll have that story for you in just a minute, but here is Debbie now with a look at our forecast. And boy, it just feels so nice out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We have some high clouds out there this morning. We're right in the 60s. We want to show you our live look from Salt Lake Community College. And this is from Todd. He's out with Roxanne this morning. And just a beautiful start to what is going to be another very toasty day across northern Utah. Now, we do expect to get some isolated thunderstorms just in the mountain areas today. Partly cloudy skies, more sun than clouds today. 64 degrees in Salt Lake right now. It's 49 in Cedar City. Ely's at 43 with a very weak front moving through. It's so weak that really all it does is drop our temperatures a bit. So yesterday we broke a record. We hit 93 degrees. We don't expect to be in the 90s today, but our normal high is in the low 70s. We don't expect to be anywhere near that either. 86 for Salt Lake today, Logan 81, Provo 88, and St. George 99 degrees.
All right, we're ready. Thanks, Debbie. Well, traffic, let's help you get ready for your commute. Here's the Woods Cross area. A few more southbound cars than northbound, but no delays and not even any heavy packs of vehicles there.
And let's go south here, 156 South I-15, and still it is a very nice looking commute as we pass the 6:30 mark this morning. 801-415-2222 is our hotline number.
Well, they went to Twin Falls, Idaho to win games. The Salt Lake Community College Bruins softball team left with a region championship, and that wasn't the biggest prize of their weekend.
Roxanne Vainuku has the rest of the story for us now. Roxanne, this all started with a little R&R in Twin Falls, right?
It did. These ladies had worked very hard, obviously, so trying to get a little rest and relaxation, and then they heard someone calling for help. For the Bruins,
We won our regional tournament.
it was a big weekend. The softball team dominated during a tournament in Twin Falls.
Celebrating our wins and stuff.
So the ladies took a much-needed break.
We actually went to the falls and went swimming.
As they packed up to head out,
We heard a commotion going on.
something
We realized someone was calling for help.
wasn't right.
So then I saw him go underneath and not come up.
A teenager drowning before the team's eyes.
There was this guy drowning, and he was screaming help, going under the water.
Anxiety, just shaky.
The ladies ran to the dock.
There's a little kid, and he was saying help, help, but he couldn't help. He was too little.
My first instinct was to go help him.
And Megan Bradshaw, third base, a trained lifeguard, went to work.
Megan sprinted, dove in, and grabbed him.
It just happened so fast.
The young man grabbed her shoulders, and Meg pulled him to the dock. The husband of one of the other players dragged him to safety.
Then my bomb roommate went and saved him. I had that one time. It was good.
At a dinner to honor the team's achievement on the field,
She's awesome.
they're also talking Meg's heroics in the water.
I really believe that if we weren't there, he would have died.
And I'm glad we were there at that time so that he could be saved.
Good news all around. The person they helped ended up being okay. The girls ended up winning that regional championship in Twin Falls. They're now headed to the Nationals in St. George. They took second last year. This year, I think they deserve the big win, right? That's what they're going for.
Absolutely. So do we know who they're playing next?
I don't know who they're playing next, but whoever it is, I'm sure that they are going to do very well against them.
They're winners already.
They are winners for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, Roxanne.
Great story, thanks. The firefighters say kids have confessed to starting a fire at an LDS church in Magna.
Crews were called out yesterday morning on reports of flames and smoke coming from the chapel. Firefighters were forced to break out several windows. They tore down sheetrock so they could get the flames out. For one of the firefighters, Victor Dancer, this is no ordinary fire. He helped construct that building years ago, and he even goes to church there.
I attended church at this building yesterday, and everything seemed to be fine.
Well, Unified Fire Authorities say 3 kids confessed to setting some hymnals on fire in the chapel. Damage is estimated at about $500,000. Well, the debate over who is responsible for enforcing laws on Utah's federal land will be decided in federal court. Utah's legislature passed a law saying BLM and Forest Service rangers cannot enforce Utah laws on federal land. And if they do, they may be committing a Class B misdemeanor and could go to jail.
Local law enforcement officers, local sheriffs are elected by the people because they're trusted by the people. We want local law enforcement officers enforcing local laws.
Well, yesterday, the federal government filed papers in federal court saying the Utah law is unconstitutional. Utah agreed not to begin enforcing the law until a decision is made, and a hearing was set for next June. A new attraction in southern Utah is being built. It'll help teach folks about water conservation. The educational garden is being built right next to Pioneer Park. It features a replica of a red rock slot canyon and the Virgin River, complete with native fish and plants. People can wander the man-made canyon and learn about water conservation techniques. Experts believe even with a price tag over $1 million, in the long run, this project will save them money.
Take less than 1,000 people to visit this place and implement what they see in order for this to pay for itself.
Well, the garden is a cooperative effort with the Water District, St. George City, and Washington County. It's expected to open this fall.
Aurora shooting suspect James Holmes appeared in court with his attorneys asking for a change of plea, but by the end of the day, that didn't happen. Holmes' attorneys asked for a change of plea from not guilty to not guilty by reason of insanity. They say they now have a complete diagnosis and an opinion from a qualified professional. The judge said he would allow Holmes the chance to change the plea, but the hearing ended without that happening because his attorneys want clarification on what happens when he gets evaluated at the state mental hospital. A Cleveland tattoo artist is honoring the hero of last week's stunning discovery of 3 captive women.
He's kind of like that public figure in Cleveland right now, kind of the voice and the face of it. And he's such an expressive guy. I figured it'd make a great tattoo.
Well, this is the face of Charles Ramsey. It is tattooed on the leg of tattoo artist Stephen Monholland. One of Monholland's friends that was also a tattoo artist offered to give him a free tattoo of Ramsey. Rose says that he wanted to do something special in Ramsey's honor because he says that Ramsey is just an average guy who acted in an extraordinary manner.
Pretty good likeness.
Now, the promotional rate on your cable bill probably looked like a great deal about a year ago, but when the promotion is over and your bill inches higher, many consumers are ending up with sticker shock. But you might be able to get a break and save hundreds of dollars on your bill for the year if you take the right steps and talk to the right people.
Well, Renee Marsh joins us now, tells us what bargaining tactics have worked in the past and what might work for you now.
That's right. You know, if you want to save money, you may have to do just a little bit of research first, like finding out which are the competitors, the competing providers that operate in your neighborhood. And you also want to know, are their rates better than your current provider? Once you have that information, then it's time to start the bargaining process. And it is so crucial that you bargain with the right person. Consumer Reports says that most customer service reps will actually not be very helpful when it comes to bargaining your bills. So when you call, you want to ask for a retention specialist. It is their job to keep customers with the company. Consumer Reports even giving us a script of what you can say. It may sound something like this: I just got my bill and my rate has shot up. I'm not quite sure that I can afford to pay this much. I'm looking to stay with your company. Can you meet the $20 savings I'd get if I switch to your competitor? Be prepared for that representative to offer you many other options other than what you're actually asking for, but be persistent with your request and also keep in mind that success is not guaranteed. That being said, Consumer Reports says that they've surveyed a lot of their readers and they found out that when they go ahead, bargain for a lower bill, in the end, they end up walking away with something. So it's worth a try. Ron, Mary, back to you.
Very competitive business there.
Be ready to jump.
Yeah,
switch if you have to.
I've done that in the past, so it does work. Well, Renee, thank you very much. Have a great day. We'll see you later.
Sure. Well, Casey is with the Division of Wildlife Resources this morning, learning all about fish.
That's right. And before we get to that, Ron, have you ever thought about getting a retention specialist?
Well, a retention specialist. Well, I've got a retainer specialist.
Yeah. Do you still wear your retainer?
Every night.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I bet that is the cleanest retainer in the history of retainers. Hey, we're hanging out with the DWR, and I've got Gary Winterton here, and you know him from Hooked on Utah, airs Saturday nights at 11:05. And the reason Gary's here this morning is he's kind of turned me on to the DWR, the Division of Wildlife Resources, because you're working with them closely today for a big event that's happening where?
Yeah, we're right down here at Salem Ponds in Utah County. Special day. This is all about special needs kids and fishing. Probably 1,500 kids from around Utah County and South Salt Lake County. They bus in, they fish, they have lunch provided by big sponsors. It is an incredible day.
All right, now is it open to anybody who has special needs children that like to come out and fish?
Yeah, absolutely. If your school isn't already participating, come on down to Salem Ponds today. It starts at 9 a.m. It goes till about 1. Come early if you can. Bring your children, and they will put them on fish. They'll catch a fish for sure. 100% guarantee.
100%?
100%.
All right, and we're here at the DWR where they've got about 500,000 rainbow trout right here. And Gary, you're telling me when I feed them this stuff right here, which is what?
Well, you know, this is just kind of a ground-up fish food. It's really good.
Ew.
Are you going to try some?
No. I'm going to give it to the fish.
Watch. This is why they go nuts.
Okay, here we go.
Piranha.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Look how crazy they're going.
Like
Wow.
got delivered to the news.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, coming up more with the DWR. We'll see you guys in a bit. It looks like the newsroom when there's food on that desk.
Yeah, Debbie just said that.
Yeah. It's unanimous.
Yeah.
Right. We all agree.
Well, still to come on 2 News this morning, some recommend more fruits and veggies in your diet. Some say less salt. The United Nations now says bugs should be on your menu.
And just like the weather, our taste buds tend to change with the seasons. Zupa's is here this morning. They will show us their new summer menu.
And a look outside, it's a beautiful start to the day. We have some clouds out there, a lot of blue sky expected, and temperatures will be hot again. We'll tell you how hot next.
You're watching the Les Olson Company High Speed Sports Minute.
USA Today reporting that Jerry Sloan has met with the Milwaukee Bucks and is being seriously considered. He was on hand over the weekend for the Jazz draftee workouts on Saturday, but he wants to get back into coaching. And the word is this is the perfect job because the Bucks situation is very similar to the Jazz situation, the 23 years that Sloan coached here. All right, Heat and Bulls, entertaining, yeah. Physical, no question. Maybe a little violent at times, yeah, absolutely. This series has been crazy, but last night was just weird. All they did was play basketball. It's kind of strange. The Heat, though, could completely deflate the Bulls with a win. And let's just say they pretty much dominated from the get-go. Second quarter off the steal. Norris Cole to LeBron. Throw down. Heat led by 11 at the half. This is when things are going your way. Look at this. Jeff Teague blocks the pass to Chris Anderson right into the hoops. For the Bulls. LeBron, 27 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and the Heat win big, 88-65. They're up 3-1, so they can close this thing out in the next game. Kevin Durant and the Thunder now down 3-1 after they lose to the Grizzlies. And for more views of the Les Olson High Speed Sports Minute, check us out at KUTV.com. I'm Dave Fox. Have yourself a great Tuesday.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dave. We're checking out a couple of traffic cameras for you to see how things are looking this morning on the roadways, and so far it is smooth sailing. This is I-15 2700 south. North and southbound traffic moving really well, and then south end of the Salt Lake Valley way south, about 156 south near Point of the Mountain. It looks good as well. Northbound picking up just a touch, but things are still moving at freeway speeds. Traffic hotline number there on your screen, 801-415-2222. Red Butte Garden looks beautiful this morning. It's 60 degrees. The sprinklers are on. In the background, you can see those clouds. Clouds are making for a very pretty start to the day, and Vernal has been just gorgeous this morning. It also feels nice. It's not just pretty, but it also feels pretty good out there. We hit 93 degrees in Salt Lake yesterday. We don't expect that today. That was a record, by the way. We're still going to be way above average. Our normal high is low 70s. We're at 64 degrees right now in Salt Lake, 52 in Vernal. And southwest Wyoming also in the 50s. We had a weak front that's pushing through. It's doing so little that really all we expect from this is to see the temperatures drop a little bit this afternoon. So on the western satellite, we can see a little bit happening out there right now. Some clouds through Idaho. It looks like something's happening off in the northwest. I want to show you the water vapor imagery because it gives us a much clearer picture of what's happening here. This green, this is the moisture we have in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So there is some that's moving out, and you can see that line where our front is, and that's going to push the really hot air out of the state. And then off in the distance, if you have an HD monitor, you can see what's happening here. We have an area of low pressure that's getting closer to the central California coast. That's going to ultimately cut off from the main system and move past Utah just to the south, and it's going to change things quite a bit. It will drop our temperatures, give us a better chance of some thunderstorms. That's later this week. For today, we just shave off a few degrees, really. We do have a chance of some storms on the high terrain, 63 degrees for the mountain areas today. This is very high up. This is not Park City. This would be areas like Snowbird, like Solitude. 40 tonight for the low. And for Provo this afternoon, 88 degrees. Partly cloudy skies for northern Utah. Mesquite sunny today, still 103 for the high. Page 92 and Bluff at 91. For the basin, we expect mid-80s, a few 70s mixed in, partly cloudy skies. East central Utah, nice and hot and sunny, 92 for Green River. Bullfrog still 97, so probably a great day to get out and hit Lake Powell. And for St. George, 99 degrees this afternoon. Zion's at 95. Bryce Canyon, pleasant in the mid to high 70s. West central Utah, some clouds. We'll have more sun than clouds today, but we do have a chance of getting some isolated storms this afternoon. 76 is the high for Park City today. 75 for Laketown, Lewiston down through Morgan in those valley areas. We're looking at low 80s. For St. George, 2-day forecast. Well, it's hot today. Today's 99 degrees, tonight 62. Tomorrow's still pretty toasty at 93. We only stay in the 90s for a few more days, and then we actually see the temperatures drop. We're barely below that 90-degree mark, but for Friday, Saturday, high 80s with a chance of some showers. Sunday, 89, and by Monday, we're sunny at 91 degrees. Overnight lows will be dropping to the mid-50s. For Salt Lake, a chance of some showers today, same for tomorrow. But still, we're going to get a lot of sunshine. 86 for today, tomorrow 85. So not quite as hot as yesterday. They won't be records, but those are still about 15 degrees above average. We drop a little bit more for Thursday. We're 82. And then Friday, 75. And we have thunder showers that move through. Still lingering through Saturday morning. Saturday, 72, which is where we should be for this time of year. Sunday, a chance of some rain, 70 degrees. And by Monday, we're 68. So even with our major cool down, we still have conditions that are going to be really pleasant across the state.
Yeah, those are some nice looking temperatures.
Actually, probably nicer than what we've seen the last couple of days.
I agree with that.
Great.
A little
too hot. Right.
All right. Well, we're going to go back to Casey this morning. He is a conservation officer today, and along with that, on our Facebook page, we're asking, what's the greatest catch you've ever made? So, Casey, what are you up to now?
Well, you know, I'm getting ready to feed the fishy. And I've got Shane here. He's with the DWR. And they've got, what is this machine called again?
We call it the Rico 2000.
The Rico 2000. And this is something you guys have put together so we can just drive by and feed the fish.
That's correct.
All right, now we're feeding the fish a diet of what?
It's a pelletized diet. Mostly the biggest component is fish meal, which is fish.
And you said you can regulate the size of the fish where they can grow up to an inch a month or a little less than that.
Yeah, we can actually, if we push them really hard, they can grow up to 2 inches a month, or we can slow them down to where they grow a lot less, just depending on what we need.
All right, and a lot of times when you feed the fishy, do you feed them before you take them to the ponds? So when they get to the ponds, they're full and they're going to just swim a little bit, or are they going to get to the ponds hungry and ready to do some fishing?
That's a really good question. We actually keep them off feed for about 3 days, just so they don't go to the bathroom in the fish truck.
I like the fact that you said that was a really good question, because hopefully my boss was watching and she could realize that sometimes I do ask some really good questions. All right, so let's power this bad boy up. Okay. Okay. And then I put it in high. Oh! Yay! Woo!
He's watching now, right?
Right now? Yep. Okay. All right. Oh, no power steering. Whoa. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and then how do I open up the Rico 2? Oh, look at those fishy jump. So just like this?
They know Mama's
They know.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That is crazy.
Breakfast is served.
Wow, that looks like a lot coming out there.
And do I just keep going?
Yep, just keep going.
Am I feeding them too much?
You're doing fine.
Okay, are you sure?
Oh, wow.
Turn it off about
Now? Okay. And watch the...
Swing out.
Don't hit the box.
Swing back in.
Okay.
Open her up.
Open her up and let her rock.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Whoa.
too much, maybe. Too much, maybe too much. Am I doing okay?
You're doing great.
Okay.
That is, yeah, they're going to be
All right,
chubby
hold on,
after
Tom. I'm coming back your way. All right, I'm going to close her off real quick. Shut her down.
Shut her down. That's amazing.
That looks like fun, actually.
Those little
All right,
tiny
here we go
fish.
again. Look at those fish jumping. Lazy in the moon.
Look at them. I know. They're so excited.
Through the trees.
Oh
Fish
my
are
gosh.
jumping in, lightning bugs are
There's more
floating
food
on
than
the breeze.
fish.
I know. That is a lot
Baby,
coming out of
get
there.
ready. Woo! Woo-hoo! You and me go fishing in. Oh, too much, too much. Lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows.
Casey, I think they like you serenading them
I
too.
do too.
I know,
like
right?
it.
This,
What a great
look at
breakfast.
that.
Little
Nice.
music.
Little music, a lot of food.
All right. Hey, coming
at
up,
them
we're going
go.
to scoop up these fishies and we're going to put them in a truck and we're going to take them to the pond near you. We're going to tell you how you can find the closest pond to you and how you can buy your fishing license online. We're going to send it back to you guys. We'll see you in a bit. Fishy,
That
fishy.
is crazy. They're still going.
Okay. It's amazing.
That is awesome.
Speaking of feeding, we're going to head into the kitchen with Ron, who's talking with the folks from Zupa's. They have a new summer menu.
That's right, and no fish food here. I mean, this is, we're talking superfoods today. We have Chef Kawasaki here from Zupa's, and I have to tell you that I've recently discovered Zupa's. I mean, I've known they've always been there, but I've gone there a couple times now and have thoroughly enjoyed it. And today we're talking about superfoods.
Yeah, that's right. So this is our summer menu item selection. We have a Greek turkey sandwich. It has Greek yogurt and lots of fresh vegetables and
Okay,
hummus.
so why do you call it superfoods?
So this one, it has the cucumbers and the sprouts and the spinach, which are all considered superfoods because they're high in antioxidants and a lot of other health properties to it. And then the hummus, which is made out of chickpeas, which is high in protein and fiber. And then the Greek yogurt, which is 0% fat and also high in protein.
So you're getting a healthy sandwich there. Well, what about the bread, the calories, though?
The bread, yeah, I mean, you make up for it with all the
there you go. That's
inside.
the way I look at it. Okay, what's this?
So this is our pistachio creme brulee, and of course you can't finish a meal without dessert. Even though it is a sweet, we went with the pistachio because they're also high in fiber and high in protein. Yeah.
But are you still getting a lot of calories with this, though?
Sure.
Okay, just but delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, the salad here.
And then the salad, pomegranate seeds, a pomegranate Greek yogurt dressing, low in fat,
That looks great.
High in protein, the spinach, blackberries, and mango. And then to top it off, we put walnuts on there, considered one of the healthiest nuts in the world.
All right, yeah, that looks delicious. All right, now today we're giving away, what, a couple gift cards?
That's right.
Okay. So what you need to do is email us. So what, 2 meals, free meals?
2 $25 gift cards.
2
So, yeah.
$25 gift cards. Just needed to make sure we let you know what's going on there. So there we are. Email contests@kutv2.com. Contests@kutv2.com, and we will pick 2 winners of that.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in, and yeah, this looks wonderful.
Thank you very much.
All right, and back to you.
Okay, Ron, I think we should start calling you Walnut.
There we go.
Because you're one of the healthiest nuts in the world.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll take
That
that.
pistachio creme brulee looks
That
good.
looks good.
I've never
We
heard
better
of
go
it.
try
I
it.
think we
Yes.
should, Debbie, right after this.
Okay, still to come on 2 News this morning. Next time you're searching the radio stations, you could hear former Utah Governor John Huntsman. Your way he's joining the throngs of political pundits on the airwaves.
They were looking for a little rest and relaxation. They ended up saving someone's life. How the Salt Lake Community College softball team ended up being called heroes.